Great evening, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here. Um, I am not in the studio today, obviously, for lack of time. I have been multitasking and jump. I want to welcome y'all back to tonight's special episode of the Sonya Dungee podcast, which is honoring the dream, nix, fix, and mix for freedom in 2026. So, in that, tonight's episode, it is being brought to you by Always Destined for Greatness LLC, B Lips LLC, and Drip Customs LLC, Drip City Customs LLC. So please drop in the comments the geographical area in which you are tuning in from tonight so that we can thank you and shout you out. And if value is received, please, during the course of the evening, please indicate it in the chat. Very dry. One moment, please. Damn. Also, let me jump on the other platform and make sure that we are being seen there as well, because it's important that the message is being delivered properly. One moment. There we are. Wonderful. Okay. So with that being said, ready once again, station is always the essence of the soul. I am your host, Sonya Dungee, and yes, still bringing the heat to the IG, the Facebook, YouTube, and now TikTok streets. So, this is a rather important special episode for me, especially given my ethnicity and the various adversities, at the least, that my parents went through in the 60s alone. And so this means a lot to me. I don't take this day for granted. I don't take it, excuse me, as a day off. If anything, it's a day on. And so we tonight are honoring the life of legacy and the freedoms that were fought by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's just not, as I said, a moment of remembrance. This is a moment of responsibility. Dr. King did not ask us to admire the dream. He asked us to live the dream. And in honor of the legacy, Martin Luther King Jr. for justice, equality, dignity, action, and love. He challenged systems. He challenged silence. He challenged people to do the uncomfortable work of change. And in being transparent and 100% honest, his work by no means is finished. So as we honor his legacy, we are also talking about what this year of 2026 requires us personally, collectively, and courageously. Nixing what no longer serves. So in this year of 2026, freedom begins in nixing the belief that keeps us small, nixing the habits that keeps us silent, nixing the comfort that keeps us complacent. Dr. King reminded us that injustice thrives when we tolerate what we know is wrong. Let me say that again. Dr. King reminds us all, that injustice thrives when we tolerate what we know to be wrong. So tonight, ask yourself, number one, what am I holding on to that totally contradicts the values I stand for? And we'll just sit in that for a second. What am I holding on that totally contradicts the values that I stand for? And number two, what do I need to release in order to grow into my next level? You see, feelings that we let go. Next comes fixing. And we're going to talk a lot more about that this year. See, on the Sonya Dungee podcast, we've been talking about nixing, and we still are. But I just felt that tonight, being that we were honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and what he stood for, it was relevant, important to bring up the second and third part. You see, in the fixing conversation that we've been avoiding, self-included. Not sure if you heard that, so I'm going to say it again. So, fixing the included, fixing relationships, neglect included, fixing the patterns and personal behavior. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. believed in accountability, not blame, but about perfection. It's about honesty. In this year of 2026, it's about asking us to stop pretending and start repairing. And then comes mixing courage with action. So finally, we move into the mixing faith with action, mixing courage with compassion, mixing intention with consistency. You see, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. modeled what happens when transformation lives. It's where we stop talking about change, start becoming it. Let's take a moment and let's just sit in it with for a second. Shall we? And just hop over. Welcome, Harlem. Yes, stop pretending and start repairing. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, great evening from Florida as well. Okay. So, let me ask you this. And you don't have to answer. This is something that you really should be asking yourself. What am I being called to nix, called to fix, called to mix, so that I am not honoring the dream? Progress does not require perfection. It requires participation. We step forward in 2026, ask yourself, how will I actively live out freedom in my daily choices, not just in my words? In case you missed it, how will I actively live out freedom in my daily choices, not just in my words? You see, I'm going to say that again. Tonight, we honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. by courage over comfort, truth over intention. So tonight, I want to thank you for joining in this special episode. Let's continue to nix what no longer serves us, fix what has been broken, mix our values with action so we can color our world purpose with justice and with freedom. And stay committed, stay the course. Remember to always be destined for greatness, your very best. Don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle because you really don't know exactly where they are. Stay safe, stay well, and God bless you all. See you this Wednesday at our regular time on the Sonya Dungee podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And bye for now.